So I am here at Samsung Galaxy Unpacked, and I want to give you a hands-on look at the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. I want to show you what the camera samples might look like, I want to tell you about all the various hardware changes, and I also want to tell you practically what I am seeing in my first impressions of it. I'm Zach from Android Digest, and let's get right into it. So there are some good things and some bad things that I'm noticing from the S26 Ultra this year. We don't get Bluetooth in the S Pen, and that is a disappointment that some people see. And we have the same camera sensors that we got from previous years. A lot of people would look at this design and say that it's not all that different from the S25 Ultra. They would say there aren't a lot of changes, but I'm actually seeing some massive changes this year that I'm really excited about. They did switch from titanium back to aluminum because they wanted to make this design a little bit thinner and a little bit lighter. And overall, I am loving the design of the S26 Ultra this year. There are 4 different colors, of course, that you could see, and the design just feels so good. I cannot express enough how much I love this design over the S25 Ultra or the S24 Ultra. It does just feel a lot nicer and more comfortable to use, and it is going to be thinner than you, of course, would see in previous years. So it's a massive improvement, in my opinion, on the design, and I really like it. Now, there are also some improvements as well to the screen. Of course, we do get new 10-bit color, which is really nice. Now, in the S25 Ultra, for example, that screen was only an 8-bit screen, so even if you could record 10-bit video, you could only watch it or view it on the screen with 8-bit colors. And now it is improved, of course, so it's really nice to see that in the S26 Ultra. And we also have, of course, the new privacy screen. That is something that some people will love and some people just won't care about. But Samsung did actually assure us that it was done on a hardware level. It's not something that's done in the cloud, and it's not some goofy software trick. Samsung is actually putting some unique technology in the hardware to allow the screen to shut off certain pixels so that people can't peek at your screen from around the corner. It's really easy to turn on. You just actually swipe down from the top of your screen, and privacy display is one of the settings on the left-hand side, as long as you swipe down, of course, from the right-hand side of your display. When you turn it on, you will notice it is cool that if you're looking at it from a different angle, you're not going to be able to see the display. And that means if you're in a crowded place, other people aren't going to be able to peek at your sensitive notifications. I'm not one of those people that typically uses a privacy screen protector, but it's really impressive technology, and I expect it to slowly come along to other manufacturers over time. Beyond the screen, of course, and the design, I will say that the cooling should be a little bit better this year, or at least on par with the S25 Ultra. Because the design is naturally thinner, Samsung did say that they had to redesign the cooling system to make sure that this phone would stay cool, and it is something we're going to have to test over time, but I am actually fairly optimistic because this phone is thin, of course, but they do have to keep it cool, and Samsung does have a pretty good track record, at least recently, with their cooling system. Now, one negative with this phone is it doesn't have MagSafe. It doesn't have the Android version of it, at least, where you can actually just magnetically attach this to like car mounts or other things around your house. Unfortunately, you are going to have to rely on cases for that. Now, one thing that really bothered me in previous years is the fact that Samsung wouldn't even include these magnets in their more expensive cases. I remember buying $70 or $80 cases from Samsung that did not have those magnets built in, and it was infuriating. But now Samsung is improving that, and they did assure us that at least most of their cases, they may have said all of them, but I'll just say most of their cases, they should have that MagSafe feature built in. Now, they also have other improvements this year. They have faster charging, 60-watt fast charging, which is really nice. They have faster wireless charging, which is really cool. And there were also some other changes that I did notice. For example, there is a codec, a video codec, the APV codec, that they are actually allowing for these Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra phones. And that is really nice. If you want to record in that, it's almost like a lossless format, or maybe it is a lossless format. The point is, the quality is going to be very good, and you're going to be able to use that format whenever you are editing gaming videos. Some tech nerds are really gonna love that, and I just think it depends on the person. Now, one thing that did surprise me and I'm really excited about, it's actually going to be these cameras. Now, I'm going to have to test them out for myself and put them through their paces, but I am very excited because, yes, we do have the same camera sensors that we had in the S25 Ultra, but the aperture has changed, which will allow us to get more light in the main sensor and in the telephoto sensor. They are claiming the aperture is like 47% brighter in the 200 megapixel lens and 37% brighter in the telephoto lens. So that is really, really cool, and I am excited to see what type of photos that I'm going to get this year. A lot of us know that iPhones, they do have really good cameras, and one reason why, it's not because they have the best sensors in the world, it's because they have optimized their photos and their videos over time to give a good, consistent experience. So I'm not mad necessarily that Samsung didn't improve the sensors. I am just hoping that they did improve the photo quality and the video quality, and that's something that we're gonna have to test out over time. But so far, taking some videos and photos here, I am actually enjoying the cameras, and I think it's going to be a nice upgrade. So this phone is actually available for pre-order now, and it's the same price that we saw in the S25 Ultra at $1299, and it is going to be launching on March 11th. And when this phone does launch, it's going to have 12 gigs of RAM in the base model and 256 gigabytes of storage. I know some people might wish or hope that Samsung would include 16 gigs of RAM or really push it up. But remember, there is a little bit of a RAM shortage going on, so I do understand that for the base model. But if you look at the specs overall, and if you look at the processor, we are seeing a nice bump in performance. We're going to see a nice bump as far as the GPU. So we're going to get more power. We're going to get a better display. We are getting some improvements in the cameras, and we're getting a lot of software improvements and a better design. So I know a lot of you out there are wondering, is it really worth getting the S26 Ultra? Should I pre-order it? Should I spend my hard-earned money on it? And I would say it does depend. If you are someone that wants the latest and greatest tech, I'm sure Samsung is going to have some decent trade-in deals, and it might be worth it for those of you who want some of these upgrades. Maybe you want that privacy screen, and maybe you want an updated design. It's not really that much lighter, it's only a few grams, but it does have an updated design. It does have a better 10-bit display. It is going to have other things like better performance, and it's going to have more light that can be let in by the cameras. There are going to be reasons to get the S26 Ultra if you really want them. But I know a lot of people with the S25 Ultra, they will be fine keeping what they have. You don't always need the latest and greatest, and if you're someone that doesn't mind holding onto your phone for a while, of course you could hold on to the S25 Ultra or the S24 Ultra and be just fine. Now, if you have an S23 Ultra, it is getting a little bit older, or the S22 Ultra, I am sure that your battery is probably starting to wear down a little bit, and your phone might start to have some minor issues, and if you look at this new phone, it might be pretty appealing. And I really do think the S26 Ultra, it's going to be one of the best phones to come out in 2026. And I am excited to check it out over the coming days. So if you are interested in this device, please check the description, because I know Samsung is going to have some pre-order deals going on, and they will have some deals going on over the months. And if you are interested in more content on the S26 Ultra, I'm going to be putting this phone through its paces. I'm even going to be doing some comparisons with phones like the Pixel 10 Pro. So stay tuned to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and no matter what you're going through in life, no matter what is going on in your day-to-day, I hope you have a great day, and I really hope you have an amazing week.